I was getting ready to return my neighbor's backhoe, and then I noticed this crack right here. I got to fix that before I can return it. You know, this little backhoe has been an absolute blessing here on Acre, because this thing has not only dug the French drain around the storm cellar, but it dug the hole for the storm cellar over there. I mean, talk about just saving my back many, many times. So, and you got to love when there's a neighbor willing to help another neighbor. That's what it's all about. And honestly, that's what it takes to be successful at homesteading. Because when you're just starting out, you're not going to have everything. And frankly, you don't need everything, because there's lots of things that you may only need a few, for a few days, a few moments, or what have you. So next step, I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to fix this thing. As you see right there, that crack, it goes. One thing, this was just made with, I'm sure, 035 hardwire in a shop somewhere, which, don't get me wrong, MIG guns are great. But one thing that you get a lot is what you see right there. There was no penetration right there. And you can see the same thing right there. You can see that weld was just sitting on top of the thing on that other part. But more than likely, see, that's a piece of strap. See, that's a piece of strap across there. So more than likely that was, whatever that is, 1.5 inches, 1.25 quarter-inch strap that they used right there. And what, if I was just to take a wild guess, the mill scale was still on it. And you can get away with that when you're running, something that'll gouge in there. Like, ideally when you're doing something like this, that's going to have some wear and tear, like some sort of big heavy bucket on a big track hoe or something, you're going to want to use, like 70-18, bevel it all out, stack it up, work your way out across there to really make a real structural weld. I don't have any 70-18. All I have is good old 60-11, aka farm rod. But seeing that this is had just little hardwire MIG welds, like look right here. Let's see if I can get in there. I mean, there's literally, you don't even see where it pulled out from the, it was just sitting on top there. So I'm going to throw some tacks on it. I'm going to grind it off, clean it up a little bit. Nothing too crazy. And we'll see, but I'm fairly confident that even just a good bead with 60-11 will be plenty. I'll grind down in there a little bit, past that crack, and then I'll put some tacks on it, show you how we do that. We'll get this thing fixed up. I will tell you, these battery grinders aren't for everything, but a little repair job, I appreciate them. All right, we're gonna fire up the welder. I'm gonna throw some tacks on there. I'll show you a little trick that I learned over the years doing stuff, and frankly, working with people, including myself sometimes, that weren't real good fitters. When you weren't real good fitters, or you didn't have a real good fitter, you learn to fill gaps. So, but I'll show you some tricks, because when you look at that, it's pretty good size, but we'll see if we can't close that up a little bit. .92 amps, around 90 amps for 1/8 inch rod for something like this is just about right. It's plenty hot enough. All right, hopefully you caught what I was doing there. Basically, you just put a little tack on there, and while that tack's still hot, it's pliable. Think about it. It's kind of like clay, just a harder version of it. But you can kind of smash it down and get it closed up somewhat. I could have worked it a little more, but I'm just going to throw some weld on there. We'll clean it up a little bit, move on to the next one. So you see, I don't want to touch it accidentally, but you see, I got that weld and I went back past that crack right there where it was already cracked. What I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to hit that with that grinder right there. And then I'll just throw one more strip right there because I know I'm cooked in good here. Just make sure I'm cooked in good there. This one right here is going to take a little more finesse. I could have showed you guys the Arkansas TIG technique where you bust all the slag off of a or the flux off of a new rod. Use it as a filler rod. All right, I'm going to show you the best I can. See that big old gap? Show you the best I can while I'm trying to run a phone through the welding helmet here. That, my friends, is why they call it stick weld. So you just get in there, let a little bit get in there and get out. Get in there, get out. Get in there, get out. Get in there, hold, get out. Hold, get out. Hold, get out. Sometimes you gotta let her dry. You gotta hold her till she dries. Now, all my professional welders out there, you got to give me a little bit of grace. You realize that I had my phone sitting in this hood, holding it with one hand. But looky here. All that to say, we got her filled up. Can't be mad at those welds. Did a little Arkansas TIG on there. Well, another job done. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. Think that 6011 will hold that little bucket on that little thing? I know what I think, but I'm curious what you guys think. Definitely got some weld in there. Some of them a little ugly. That's all right. This ain't gonna be, I ain't welding for some sort of welding contest. I'm welding just for that thing to dig its next hole. You know, I mentioned earlier how thankful I am for that backhoe. That little thing dug this hole for this storm cellar, the French drain, the ditch all the way out, put a culvert in down there on the driveway. And in case you guys are new to the channel, all that stuff's up on the channel also. And it's just about being a good neighbor. My neighbor up the road has been such a good person to me. I've been down here 6 years, and ever since that I moved down here, I met him. He has just tried to help me in any way he can. That's where I bought that little Ford tractor. That was his. I mean, just an amazing man. I did a video with him. His video's up on the channel too. Ron Beaver. It's right down at the bottom. One of the first ones I did. Much respect for him. But future videos, lots of stuff for the Oklahoma Joe. It's gonna get. Why I got this welding machine. That's my other neighbor's. The welding machine is. Telling you, good neighbors are worth a lot. But you got to do them right also. But anyways, Oklahoma Joe, got to put a dampener up on top. Got to do a fire shield in it. I've got to work future projects. I got to work. I think I'm going to build a fixed hay ring for Josie, my Dexter cow over there and her partners. A fixed hay ring in between the two paddocks so that I can manage them a lot better. See the Jeep off there in the distance? We're gonna be doing stuff with that Jeep. There's a few videos of it up from when I first got it to when I fixed it and to when, you know, I four-wheeled it a few times. That is just gonna really a toy. So nice because, you know, I've got a payment on that big, pretty Super Duty over there, but I don't have one on that Jeep, so it's nice. I just run around in it and keep the miles off that expensive truck over there. But that's gonna wrap up this video. If you haven't watched the other videos with the storm cellar and the that French drain and stuff, I basically gave a free commercial for the DR trimmer there. That little DR trimmer pull behind backhoe. So impressive. Hey, you can see how strong it is. Tore itself up. That's always a good sign. But just remember, guys, I appreciate you watching. As always, thanks for following along. There's a lot of good content up on the channel. Lots of project videos, from barbecue videos on that Oklahoma Joe. It's a homestead. We're butchering animals. We're gardening, all the above. So thank you for watching. And just remember, feed your critters, love your neighbor, and follow Jesus. Remember that love your neighbor part. Have a great day.